After a long 2 weeks, we are finally back with Kagurabachi. And guys, let me tell you something. Bring that dinger because once again, we were right on the money, baby. Right on the money. Hit that ding button, guys. We are like 3 for 3 right now when it comes to theories, okay? We get introduced to Chihiro's mother, okay? And it is 1000% confirmed, guys. We knew it. We called it here first, okay? You guys remember a couple chapters ago, we were like, oh, this Chiaki, this must be Chihiro's mom. Just from the way Rokuhiro was talking about her, and we get that confirmation that she is indeed Chihiro's mother. Among that, we also get the revelation that she's from the Soga clan. Guys, there is so much lore dropped on us this chapter. It is incredible, okay? After the 2-week break, Hokuzono has come back in full effect, and the story is rearing up and getting crazy. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And today, we are talking Kagurabachi Chapter 116. This chapter is full of lore, guys, so let's just jump right into it. This chapter is called Princess, okay? And just from the title alone, that should already tell you, like, this is an important chapter with an important person, okay? It is the star of the chapter. And we start the chapter with Chiaki, right? And we're not given any indication that it's her, right? So the chapter just starts with her opening her eyes, right? She's just waking up. And then we get Mashiro, and he's walking with one of the big dogs from the previous chapter, one of the guys from headquarters. And he's explaining to Mashiro that Chiaki probably had a dream about the Shikoku, right? And he's telling Mashiro, like, bro, be on your best behavior. Like, this is very important, right? So we find out that Chiaki, she's like oracle to the people almost, right? And we find out that it's like a gift that gets passed down every generation in the Soga clan, right? And this is the same clan that Shiba is from, right? He's like the protector of that clan. Remember, that was like what he said in the first chapter, he's like when he pulled up on those guys, he was like the Soga clan's guardian, that's Shiba, right? So she's basically just does the work of an oracle, like if you guys know an oracle from like Greek mythology, you go to them, they tell you like a prophecy and blah blah blah, send you on a quest, whatever. It's very, very similar, right? She foretells disasters such as earthquakes, drowning, and we find out that the Detenseki was actually found through one of her prophecies, right? So this girl is super duper important. Like, people come to her and she's spot on with the money. And we've seen how the government is just running after that Tenseki, right? So to find that from the prophecy, that's huge, right? Like, she's probably like super important, like royalty almost, and yeah, for millions of generations, the prophet has been telling their prophecies, right? And the Shiba even says, like, our job is to serve as the liaison, and it says that because of that power, the Soga clan is actually the head clan when it comes to the sorcery world, right? You've got the Sazanami clan, you've got the Ushi clan, the Sazanami clan is actually where my boy is from, right? But the Soga clan, because they've got the prophet, they've got the priestess there, they're the most important, right? So everybody's there, they're gathered for the prophecy, right? And she's about to spit some prophecy, right? So we get the princess, right? And she's explaining her prophecy, and she says 8 days from now, some inhabitants from Shikoku, which is the island where the Tenseki's from, they're gonna come aboard. They come in peace, And afterwards, a royal ship will arrive bringing the royal family. Okay, so there's going to be some kind of meeting, right? We don't know exactly the details of this meeting. We just know there's going to be a meeting. It's very vague, right? And then that's it, right? Like, that's the prophecy. After this is when we get the confirmation that it actually is Chiaki, right? Because her mother comes up and she says, Chiaki, you should rest now, right? And we get some people from the outside looking in, and they're like, wow, like, look at her, you know, just up until a couple days ago, she was just a normal servant like us. So we find out that she's actually like lower born, you know, like it's not like she was born into this role. Like, this is a role that she's just taken over 8 days ago, actually, which is crazy work, you know, like you would think that this is something that you're born, you know, like you're just born with, you know, and maybe you discover that power at like, I don't know, like 5, 6, you know, like as a child, like you inherit it, but like, nah, like she's like fully grown and it just like transferred over to her, right? And the people even say like, she's from a lesser branch of the family. So it's like, someone like her should never be crowned Soga Princess, you know? But they say that the previous princess, she died at a young age before giving birth to an heir. So like 2 years ago, the gift of prophecy just transferred over to Chiaki. Like, she just manifested it, right? And they're like, it's a bizarre twist of fate. Like, it's really crazy. But then they say it's too bad that they can't see their friends anymore, that she can't see her friends anymore, you know, because she's been elevated to such a higher status now. And we get a flashback of Shiba, Akamura, and Rokuhira, it looks like, and Chiaki, and they're all playing together. So this is the confirmation that we needed, guys. Like, they go way back. Like, saying these guys like literally grew up together. Like, and that obviously makes sense, you know, because if Chiaki, or if Akamura is Chiaki's little brother, then yeah, of course he would be around too. Like, from kids, these guys were playing. This is so crazy, right? And then we cut to Akamura, right? And Akamura's training with one of the guards, right? And he's like, did you go easy on me? You know, he beats the guy. He's like, did you go easy on me? He's like, don't. I need to make it to the elite guard, you know, because his sister is Princess Soga, and the elite guard guards Soga, right? And this is when the trainer, right, he tells Akamura, he's like, I've told you time and time again, like, you've already met the requirements. The only thing stopping you from being a commander is your age. But if we're talking about just combat skills alone, you're like above and above, you know? Amazing, incredible. Like, Akamura, we see, guys, like, there's a reason he was the sword master. This guy's been sick from a young age. Like, he's been with it. Like, you know, this guy is beating up like man style. Like, he's only 16 in this chapter. So the guy he's beating up is like, I don't know, older guy for sure, like 30, whatever. Like, he's the trainer, you know? And Akamura is beating him up, bro. Akamura is really, you know, he's about it. But then, boom, this is where we get the actual confirmation. Because Akamura goes, big sis, right? And he's talking to Chiaki, right? And she's like, don't overdo it. If you wreck your body, then what? You know? And he's like, yeah, gotcha. And then, you know, he just goes back to training. But boom, just with that alone, guys, there we go. So, now I'm thinking, Chihiro's mom is Princess Soga, so if she's part of the Soga clan, do you think Chihiro could like unlock some like sorcery abilities or something? Like, you know what I mean? It is kind of crazy. And now I'm like, bro, no wonder Shiba's been kind of like his like guardian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Soga is literally, okay, Shiba is literally the Soga clan guardian, you know what I'm saying? And he's guarding Chihiro because Chihiro is Princess Soga's son. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all starting to like make sense now. you know? But then we get Akamura and Chiaki, and they're sitting with their mom, you know, and she's like, nobody says you're unsuitable anymore, because remember, they used to be part of the lesser branch of the family, and now both of them have just been elevated, you know? And she's like, I'm so proud of you both, you know? And Chiaki's like, she gets a moment where she's just thinking about some prophecies, you know? And it's not like she gets full pictures, you know? She just gets fragments, and, you know, and some of them are crystal clear, you know? And she's super reminiscing, you know? And her mom's like, just tell me, even if it's something small, you know? And she's like, in a vision, I saw Kunishige, you know? I saw Rokuhira. Yeah, it's like, Rokuhira's in Tokyo, you know? Maybe, you know what that means? And her mom just starts chastising her, you know? She's like, you need to forget about that boy. Like, he's not important. Like, you need to just move on. Like, you're never satisfied, corrupted by your worldly desires. You know, like, it's really sad. Like, Chiaki's just sitting there and she's like, damn, you know? And yeah, her mom's just berating her, you know? Like, you think this guy is going to be important to Japan's future? And I'm like, bro, stop being disrespectful. You have no idea who Rokuhira is, all right? This guy is going to change the landscape of Japan, all right? This guy's about to come in and just shake up everything. You don't know nothing, old mom. You don't know nothing. Sit down. Chiaki's right. But anyway, she's like, you're Soga Clan's esteemed princess, you know? Like, you can't go about, like, consorting with some, like, peon, some commoner, you know? Like, who are you, you know? It's like, your destiny is to marry, you know, somebody good from, like, a well-born family. Like, you can't be running around with this peasant, you know? And she's like, yeah, you know, like, sorry. And that's that for now, but obviously, we know that's not how it always goes. You know, the princess always wants, you know, the real bad boy. And Rokuhiro's just that guy, you know? This guy's just a Chad, you know? We cut to Rokuhira, and he's sitting with Chiba. And Chiba's like, you know, like, you're not gonna go after her, bro? Like, you know? And Rokuhiro's like, you know, like, I don't know what you're talking about, you know? And Chiba's like, bro, like, come on, bro, like, I'll take another letter to her. You know, we find out that Rokuhira and Chiaki, they've been sending each other correspondence, you know? So, like, they've always stayed tight. Even when she got elevated to her high status, like, they always stayed, like, you know, boom. But Shiba's really, you know, insistent. He's trying to get this surprise reunion, you know? You got to give it to Shiba, bro. Best wingman ever. Like, Shiba is such a Chad, bro. Yo, Rokuhira died. He literally took over as Chihiro's ward, you know, like, he's watching over Chihiro. Bro, when Rokuhira is alive, Shiba's out here fucking making him deals, okay, bringing him to the government, giving this guy the Detenseki, okay? He's wingmaning for Rokuhira, trying to get Chiaki for him. Like, bro, Shiba, best character in the series, bro. This guy cannot do no wrong. Realist nigga out here. I swear. W wingmans, for real. W wingman. But, you know, Rokuhira, he's pretty down about it. You know, he's like, you know, like, a guy like me should just stay away. I should just live for the sword, you know? And that's when we get Subaru, and Subaru pulls up, and he's like, buddy, stick around a little longer. Like, I'll feed you well. And if you guys remember, last chapter, Subaru was inspecting one of Rokuhira's swords from Mashiro, and he seemed like he was impressed with that design, right? Like, he was like, damn, cheeky bastard. So, of course, he wants him to stick around. You know, maybe he'll give him a little tips. Maybe he inspected the sword and he seen that it was better crafted than his own, and he was like, holy shit, I'm not the guy to be forging the swords. Give it to this dude. Like, we need to have this dude do it, because his work is even better than mine, you know? Who knows? Honestly, guys, if you're loving the theories, hit that subscribe button, because we are 3 for 3 right now, okay? Kagurabachi is getting absolutely insane. And this cliffhanger that we leave on, the story is about to get crazy. So hit that subscribe button, guys, because I promise you don't want to miss anything that's coming up. Anyways, the last little bit of the chapter, right, is what the prophecy foretold. We pick up 8 days later, right? Just as the prophecy foretold, right? The Shokoku, they land on this beach, they deliver a letter, and then they leave. You know, the letter, it's requesting a meeting with the royal family. It was written in Japanese. And then the last page of the chapter, March 20th, the Hiroshima talks, okay? Beneath this tree, 2 nations, the Shokoku and the Japanese, they meet to discuss the rights to mine the Datenseki. And that's where we end the chapter. So, guys, it's about to heat up. We're about to see the negotiation talks, okay? And then, yeah, like, we better see the forging of some blades. We're about to see the blooming of Chiaki and Rokuhiro's relationship, okay? And, you know, like, that's what I'm talking about. I asked for a full, extensive flashback of the arc, and Hokuzono said, you want a full flashback? All right, I'm gonna take you back to the start. I'm gonna take you right back to the very beginning. And I'm more than cool with that, guys. Like, this story is getting so crazy. Shiba has literally become my favorite character of the story in like 2 chapters, 3 chapters. He's always been sick, but now he's just, yeah, like, Shiba's like my favorite character right now. And I'm loving Rokuhiro, you know, like, I can't wait to see the relationship between him and Subaru. You know, I'm hoping it's kind of like mentor-mentee, but like, I don't know, like, Subaru seems hella impressed with Rokuhiro. So guys, stick around. We're not on break next week. Next chapter, we are going to be back with Kagurabachi Chapter 117, guys. Lock it in, guys. The story is getting absolutely mad. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know your theories down below. Let me know your comments down below. Were you expecting Chiaki to be confirmed as Chihiro's mom so soon? We all knew that it was Chihiro's mom, but the confirmation, like, come on, guys. We don't miss over here. So drop your comments down below. Drop your theories down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will be back with another one. Thank y'all.